Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Capricorn. If Capricorn is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so tonight our card is the Ace of Cups. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And let's take a look at what's going on in these tea leaves. Okay. So I have a person running here. You can see the head here. Here are the arms. The body is here. Okay, and it almost looks like they're running from a house. You can see kind of, it looks like the roof of a house. And maybe I see like an eye on top. It kind of almost looks like the pyramid with the eye, but this kind of gives it more depth. It looks kind of like the roof of a house with an eye right on top. Okay. So then it almost kind of looks like we have somebody who has fallen and almost kind of like running over top of this person. You know, and I get the feeling here that there is almost this kind of rising urgency to get away from maybe the domestic situation you're in. Maybe this has to do with a family member, somebody you are dating or in a relationship with, maybe married to. I just feel like there has been some turmoil here, and there is the impulse to kind of get away from this. And I feel like there's almost, you know, it almost kind of does look like somebody who is like trampling somebody out to get over them, to get away. But what I kind of also think of is the dual feelings here of being just absolutely depleted, but at the same time having this real desire to keep going, you know, to continue to finish off the situation so that you can get into a place that feels aligned with how you envision your peace. Okay. Now I'm not saying that you maybe are leaving this person or anything, you know, to that extreme, but I do think that it's like this feeling of things have to change. It just has to change. Something around here has to change. It's not working out. I don't like how this is going. And I feel like there's just been, you know, and I think it's been over time, of course. These things, they don't just happen overnight usually, you know, unless there's some kind of big event or shift in things. But I think that this has kind of been a gradual building up, and maybe even over the years, right? But I do think that you are in this place of, emotional power. We have that Ace of Cups card, so that lets me know you are feeling pretty potent here, right? You have the emotional waters. They are encapsulated by that Holy Grail, okay? So you are in possession of you know, kind of the ultimate source of emotional motivation, okay? And so, you know, I think that this is a time where You know, you really, I think, yearn, and we have a bird here flying out of the hand of this person who is kind of running. You yearn to set your spirit free of the situation, the circumstances that have come to be. Okay. I just don't think this is exactly how you thought your life was going to go, and I think that happens. Sometimes we go along with the best intentions. Something happens, another thing happens down the road here a little bit. Next thing you know, you're doing what you have to do, and you end up in a job maybe you don't like, or living in a place that does not suit you. You might feel isolated, overworked. Maybe, the dynamic of your household is that there's not an equal share in things. You're taking on too much, or maybe there's not enough. You're living in a place where maybe you don't have family near, or you haven't been able to connect with other people. You don't have friends in the area, and it gets to a point where it's like something here has to change for me. It doesn't have to be some huge thing. I don't need like a castle on the mountain or anything, but I need something for myself. I need a little help. I need to be able to see my people. I need to be able to be with my loved ones once in a while. I need to have a job that, pays well enough. I need to be able to at least make enough to keep the lights on, and this is a time where, a lot of things that feel very uncertain for a lot of people, and it can be really almost to the point of keeping us in that place where we're it's almost like you're stunned, right? There's a terror to things really just falling apart, where I feel like most of us are like about one paycheck away from disaster, and that's it's a lot of people. And so this is the time, coming from somebody who has lived in this state of being for most of my adult life, right? This is a time to be brave. This is where we have to sometimes really try to be brave and figure out if these other things are going to fall into place for me, if I'm going to get into a cycle where I'm starting to feel more confident about what's going on here. I have to make some tough decisions. I have to make some brave decisions. I have to reorient some things. And that's not easy. It's not easy. I applaud those out there who are doing their work. I just saw a comment today. Somebody was saying that they went and finished their education, their certification, and I won't say specifics, but for work that they are passionate about, and that's not easy, but I applaud it, and we all kind of do when we hear stories like this, right? So whatever it is that's going on, I feel like this is a time where it's like I'm standing up. And there is that there's a clarity there. There is a clarity that has been lacking, or, maybe that you have understood, but it's like, I don't know what to do. I'm terrified to make any kind of move or commitment to anything that might destabilize my life even more. But here's the thing, you know, life gets away from us very quickly. It is very easy to devote ourselves to living in a very stagnant place. And usually that is emotionally, spiritually. So we have to get going. And when these energies arise in us, we start to make brave decisions. You know, I don't know if you're a person that, you know, has a religion or spiritual practice, but I think it's important that when we start to get into these places, maybe we go find a nice church that you enjoy. Get into a routine of faith, of grace. Start keeping, you know, altars, or if you are somebody who participates in magic. If you are not, unlike myself, I like to keep gardens, because that's kind of my magic, right? I like to cook and I like to keep gardens. And never have I seen things so magically as those two places for me. It doesn't mean it's the same for everybody, but those are my places. And when I know that things are feeling like I'm out of control of my life, or there is a, you know, it's like a constipation of spirit. It's just not, I don't feel like I'm in the same room, right? I go outside and I look around, I don't feel like it's very cool or magical or beautiful or anything else. It's just, another day. Well, then that's when I get busy, you know. It's when I start doing the things I know that I love to do. Start making some tough decisions. Something has to change. Sometimes it's also going back to therapy, seeking out counseling, going to support groups. You know, I'm in recovery, so I end up going back to meetings if I've, you know, been slacking on that. That's always a good booster for me. I need that sometimes, you know, because I do. I get into what we call in AA stinking thinking. And sometimes you need fellowship. You need to be around other people to have some perspective. But I think you're in this place where it's like you already have that kind of activation. You're ready. It also, you know, it doesn't surprise me at all, Capricorn. I feel like I maybe called you Sagittarius at some point. Maybe not. That's my other reading. But Capricorn. So, let's see. I was going to say, it doesn't surprise me. Because you all, you know, the thing about, I think, Capricorn, and I am a Capricorn rising. So I feel like I have a lot of highlights of Capricorn energy. But you're really good at seeing the problem. You're good at figuring out a course of action, and even going through the motions. I mean, there's not a lack of motivation, but when that intense emotional energy enters the picture, oh my gosh, there's no stopping you. That's the magic sauce there, right? The magic ingredient. That's what really gets things moving and going. Now I'm looking at this. I keep thinking it looks like two people kind of embracing one another. And I'm looking over here. It looks like we have an E right here. Maybe an E. No, it looks like a letter. Maybe. We have a letter here. We have a goddess here. and we have a bird. So we have a messenger with a letter, and we have a goddess. So I do think that there is, there's messaging in this kind of divine feminine consciousness. There is that essence of Sophia in things. And this is our intuition. This is a place where we really begin to hear that interior voice, that guiding light, that guiding sound in the distance there. I like to think of the goddess guiding us in a natural scenario where when we're going through the dark night of the soul is one of them. But if you could imagine yourself in a valley, right, and it's dark, it's night, and you are down in there are, cliffs all around you. It's not so much even just a valley. It's kind of like a very tight, cavernous type of setup here. And you're trying to cross through, right? You're trying to cross through so you can get up to the other side and try to traverse the wall and get out of there. But as you are getting deeper into this valley, you're becoming lost because it is the night. And it's scary. There are a lot of weird sounds, a lot of feelings, like feeling of being maybe stalked by something, like you've become the prey of something. But off in the distance, on the wind, we have the voice of the mother goddess, kind of howling. Now, in this imagery, usually it is something akin to like Lilith calling you across to lead you through the night. But it is really, and she is the mother of, the original mother in some ways. But, it's not unlike Sophia either. Okay. So it is that divine feminine consciousness kind of calling us through the night, helping us find our way. And it's kind of encoded into the wind, right? It's kind of twirling around, dancing around our ear, keeping us moving, going. And so it's, I think in these times where we know this is it. I'm at my wit's end with whatever has been going on, whatever the setup is here. The miscommunications, just the way things are, my routine, whatever it is for you, it just isn't working. It needs to be switched. It needs to be changed. And here we have the mother, the divine light shining upon us, and sending us little messages, letting us know, you have to listen to yourself. You know where you should be and what you should be doing. Now it's really up to you to decide to choose in favor of yourself, in favor of the path that you have chosen, or not. And that's really as simple as it is. And of course, there will be times when things don't go the way that you envisioned them. But that doesn't mean anything besides we keep trying, right? We figure something else out. And so I see this, and I feel that this presence is very alive in your life. And I also see a person sitting here at the top of this kind of, cliff or whatever it is, plateau. And they're looking out here into the sky. Okay. And it looks almost like a shooting star. So I think that in this time, as you are moving forward, doing the things that you need to do, it is a good time to be also implementing your power of manifestation. You know, you absolutely not only have to listen to yourself, but you have to believe in what you're doing. You know, and sometimes, and maybe this is a bit of a cop-out, I don't know, but sometimes we just have to fake it until we really start to make it. No, until we really start to know what we're doing. Okay, and you do. When you get the ball rolling, you start to understand, how is this going to really work? And you get good at it quickly. You're a Capricorn, right? So, I think that this is a time of it's a lot of change. There's a bit of upheaval, but this is all for your benefit. Okay, there's nothing sad about this. This is a time when it may be that you feel tired, overwhelmed, frustrated, but it is the beginning of something that is going to lead you into the rest of your life, you know, and what, you know, where do you want to go with yourself? That's the big question. You know, where do you want to go, and what are you willing to do? You know, and that's what it really comes down to at the end of the day. Now, we also have a large E. So I knew the E was coming through. This one looked like an E to me, but the E really, so it feels like there is a person with an E name, and they seem very important to your life. Okay, so they are definitely coming through. If they've transitioned, or if they are still around here somewhere, excuse me, there's a feeling of reaching out to them, maybe, or they're reaching out to you. I almost wonder if this is like an older person in your life who maybe you don't see very much. Maybe a mother, father, grandmother, a grandfather, something like this. But I think that they don't like to bother you. And you don't talk very often anymore. And so I feel like it's important for you to maybe reach out to them, because it feels like they're really on your mind and you are on their mind. There's a connection, a psychic connection there. Now, we also have a 12 right here. So the number 12 might be important. Oh, and we did have the two people embracing. So, you know, I want to also say, where in the first part, I saw that there might be some kind of, you know, I don't know, issues in the domestic setup there. I do think that things will come together nicely. I think that, you know, as we get through this period of time, there's going to be that deeper union. And if that is with somebody else, if that is with yourself, I feel like there's a time of great harmony coming. Now, we also have a person here, and it looks like they have an armful of flowers. Okay. And so again, there is this sense of growth, an enormous amount of growth. And the beauty and the harmony. They're holding flowers all over the place. So I think that this is just going to be quite a beautiful time for you. And, you know, everything starts out in a place that it feels like an ending. It feels a little bit like, you know, kind of scary. There's a lot of unknowns. But once you get started, I think that you really start to get your footing and quite confident very quickly. Okay, let's take a look here. Okay, so we have, it looks like, now I wonder if you have a sister. Maybe even two sisters, but at least one sister. And we have the number 7. And I kind of imagine when you were younger, there was almost maybe a little bit of an age gap, not much, but I wonder if you were maybe the older sister, or maybe, yes, maybe the older sister or brother. But you had a younger sister, and I feel like that they always kind of wanted to be with you, follow you around. And I can almost imagine that, I feel like you were, like very protective, and you really liked to, hang out with them, and you were teaching them a lot of things and showing them interesting stuff that you were into. I can even like picture you being outside looking at plants and going into like maybe the woods or on walks or riding bikes or whatever it was. And I feel like this is a kind of, it's a confirmation here that relationship was so important to your sibling. And I think it was so important to you as well. And I think a lot of how you have learned to be with other people, I think maybe you're even like a teacher, or you tutor, or you volunteer your time to mentor or something like this, maybe a coach or something. I feel like this is one of the origins of this. You just were so good in this space, and that has persisted. I don't know, it feels like this sibling is still with you. I don't know if you're as close as you wish you were, but I do think that there's a lot of love there. Okay, and I think that this is one of the most important relationships of your life. If you can think of like in our last moments, if we were to go over the things that were the highlights of our being in the cycle, the moments of just absolute love and love and joy and sharing and laughter and just the beauty there. I think that this would be one of those connections that you have. And so I think that's been also on your mind lately here. Okay, Capricorn. Let's see what these doors have to say tonight. Okay, and I'm going to flip through and stop where it feels right. We'll turn it over. It says, inner power. By your own command, you brought yourself here. At this moment in your life, you have nothing to fear. You have nothing to fear. Absolutely. All right. So Capricorn, I want to tell you I love you, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. Hopefully I did not call you Sagittarius. Usually when I do my readings, on this for this day in particular, I'll do Sagittarius first, but tonight I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do Capricorn first. So that's maybe where, if I did say it, I'm sorry, but it is a Capricorn reading. So other than that, if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I love reading them. I love hearing from you. You all are my favorites. And with that, I will say again, I love you. I love you. I love you. Take care of yourself, and we will talk. We'll talk in just a few days from now. All right. Good night. Good night. Good night.